Testing, testing. How does it sound? I hope it sounds all right because we're gonna get right into it. I guess if the volume is not good or you guys can't see what I'm doing, I guess I'll just be wasting 20 minutes of my time, which is all right. That's cool. We're gonna learn together. But what's up? Right now I've got the Sleeper app open. Actually, it's the web version of the Sleeper app. Yeah, I didn't even know you could use this, but this is kind of cool. So I'm gonna kind of just kind of go through what happened, give us a little, just a little more of a high level type stuff. Talk about what happened last year, give a little recap, maybe talk about some of the stuff that happened during the off season, a little bit of the rookie draft stuff, and then just a look ahead to this coming season. Season starts in a little less than a week, so I know we're doing our other draft, other leagues draft in 2 days, so that should be fun. But right now, this video, we're just going to talk Dynasty. So I guess if you have some free time and want to listen, buckle up. Um, Here we go. So I thought this is kind of funny. So here's my YouTube video, 2 subscribers, no big deal. My previous video 9 years ago, look at that, 61 views, no big deal. Um, but yeah, it was also a fantasy football video. So look at that, there's me. Um, but yeah, so I guess you can call my channels kind of turned into a fantasy football exclusive channel. How about that? Look out. So here we go, 9 years later, and we're still making fantasy football content. What's good? I mean, that's pretty cool. So I just thought that was kind of funny. But anyways, let's get into it here. So here in the app, you don't have to bear with me. I'm gonna try to kind of learn as we go. Just through this app here. So I think we can go to, let's look at the previous league. Let's look at what happened last year. So here's just the playoff bracket from last year. Yeah, you won't find me. I'm here in the toilet bowl. No big deal. Hey, look off here. Oh, this was the one, one cool thing that I won last year, which was the toilet bowl champion. I think that's what this trophy is displaying here. So shout out to me right there. That was kind of the best part of my season last year. But yeah, anyway, so last year, um, Kalen ended up winning. So I think what I'll kind of talk about later is how, he basically just squeaked in as the 6th seed, so the final seed in the playoffs. Uh, he got in there. So let's see if we look at the league overview from last year. Yeah, so Kalen went 15 and 13, got in as a 6th seed. So AJ was just right there at 14 and 14, just one game back is all it took. So basically, just going 500, and you can basically get into the playoffs. Me, Nick, and Jordan were quite a ways away, but so I'm just kind of keep that in the back of your mind as things move forward. I think that's interesting to kind of note is just basically just go 500 and you got a shot. And I mean that's important. At least it seems that way. Just because once playoffs happen, you're no longer competing against the rest of the league. It's just that's just kind of fantasy football how it's always been. So just get in the playoffs and then kind of cross your fingers and just hope your guys stay healthy. Hope you got decent matchups and kind of all that. So Kalen ended up beating Ryan in the finals. A little bit of a lopsided affair there. I mean, Kalen just went off. He would have beat it would have beat everyone 173. What I am curious, what were their lineups looked like? How does it compare to kind of what their lineups would look like this year? So yeah, so clearly Ryan had injuries by week 17 of last year. I mean, Tyler Huntley as a starting QB. Just kind of looking through here, scrolling down. Um, yeah, and Heineke here as his, uh, you know, super flex here. So yeah, so you had Cousins and Lawrence on his bench. So clearly there were injuries, happening there. As far as on Kalen's side, I don't know. Like his team's gonna look a little bit, a lot different than you would think for this year. I mean, Darrell Williams here not gonna be putting up 24 points. I can tell you that much. Um, Obviously, I'll get into the trades a little bit. Tyreek Hill, now the proud owner of him, so that should be fun moving forward. But I mean, I think it just goes to show you that I think year to year teams are going to look so different, and even within the season, your team's going to look so much different than what it looks like, at the beginning of the season. So just something to kind of keep in mind. So I don't know. I don't know how much I want to get into last season. I mean, Obviously, I want to be done with last season. I finished pretty low here, 9-19. I think overall, as far as points for, yeah, I was way lower than everyone. It was a rough year last year to say the least. So I'm looking forward. I'm glad I'm now 0-0. So let's get out of 2021. That was not great. We're gonna move on to let's see. Let's go into the league. I think I can kind of talk about. Oh wait, actually, let's go into the draft. So right here, you can see a little bit of the draft, and I'm not gonna go into every single pick. Obviously, that doesn't seem quite necessary. We don't know obviously how any of these guys necessarily are gonna pan out. I might just kind of try to highlight some of the things maybe from what we've seen during training camp slash just all the preseason stuff and kind of who stood out, who might look like might like they could have been steals in the draft. I can't tell you for sure, but um, I guess kind of going backwards here. I know Romeo Romeo Dobbs. I think we're gonna go with that. I think I've heard every single pronunciation of his name. He has looked amazing. Just ask Nick or any other Packer fan. He's looked really good in training camp. Brian Robinson obviously just got into that horrible accident recently with um, getting shot up, so that was not good. But he looks like he might have overtook Antonio Gibson as the starter, so hopefully quick recovery there. But that looks like a great pick from Jordan in the fourth round. I don't know how often you're going to have, maybe impact players in the fourth round, at least for the first year. That doesn't seem, like it's going to happen too often. So that seems like it's going to be a good pick, whether that happens, right now or in the near future. But that seems like a pretty good fourth round pick. Third round here, I'm trying to see if anyone here stands out. I know Wandell Robinson. I'm pretty sure, besides his amazing name, I think he's got the starting slot um, receiver position locked up for the New York Giants. So that should be, interesting to say the least. I know the Giants offense is, whatever, but a rookie starting receiver, drafted in the third round here. That seems like, nice pick by Jordan there. Um, Second round, you know, Dotson, I think even during the draft, people were interested in him. He kind of fell a little bit later than, maybe people initially thought, but, Dotson seems like a guy that I think he's already getting starter reps and might be interesting. Pickens has been another one. I know Kurt's excited for her Pickett to Pickens combo, so that should be uh, kind of fun to watch. He's been looking good in camp. I think Malik Willis. I mean, you never know. Tannehill's maybe only got a couple years left, if that. So we'll see how, as far as before they would start to try Malik Willis. Then I mean, if he has a couple, few bad games in a row or something, I don't see why they wouldn't try to turn to Willis. So another player. I know Nick's gonna give me shit about Sky Moore because that was actually my slot. As you see, I traded all my picks away. Nick grabbed this Sky Moore with this second round pick of mine. So, I mean, anyone on that Kansas City offense, that you have, and it seems like Sky Moore, should get some, at least have some opportunity there in Kansas City. So that actually feels like something that could haunt me for a little while. So I'm sure Nick absolutely loves that. Which, hey, more power to him. That was an awful trade on my part. But hopefully, we'll see. Well, I guess we'll see. There's a lot of receivers there, so no one really knows for sure who the guys are that's going to be there. It could be Juju, could be I got a blanking. Oh, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, who I also traded to Nick during that same trade, and then the third is why am I blanking? Juju, Sky Moore, Valdez-Scantling. I don't know. I feel like I'm missing someone, but yeah. So and then the first round, I mean, all those guys, you know, we'll see. I guess all those guys seem like they're definitely capable. For real quick shout out, James Williams, great photo. You can tell this guy's just gonna be a stud. I mean, just that's a trap guy. Great pick by AJ right there. I mean, yeah, he's gonna be starting the pup list, but I think once he comes back, whatever that is, was it week 5 or 6 or 7? Whenever he comes back, he should be an exciting player at the very least. Detroit's supposed to be, at least better than what they were last year, so that should be fun. But yeah, I mean, the draft, I don't know. I think it's a little bit of a crapshoot, but at the same time, I think I don't know. It's just something fun to look back on. I think if you looked at this same list maybe next year, just kind of look back and see. I think obviously, I think those first couple rounds will be, somewhat valuable if you know, pick right. I mean, that seems obvious, but uh, I don't know. First couple rounds seems good. Third and fourth, I don't know. Well, I guess we'll see. I guess we'll wait and see. That's just kind of my strategy. I mean, I traded away all my picks, so who knows? I could be completely wrong. I think everyone seems to value their picks a lot differently, and I think that's kind of the fun in it. Is everyone's got their own little strategies, so I think that's pretty cool. All right, so let's be done with the draft. We'll go into let's go into some like off-season moves. Let's see how far are we at. We're 10 minutes in. All right, cool. So let's go into some of the off-season moves. There was a ton of them, and they were all nukes as far as in size of these trades. There was no shortage of big name players being traded. So if I go into recent activity, and then I can filter by trades here. I think if I scroll down to the bottom, okay, so yeah, May 1st is what it shows here as far as the first trade that would have happened in the offseason. Because yeah, there would have been trades prior to that, I'm sure, but May 1st is where I'm currently seeing. Oh yeah, because that's maybe the start of this season. So yeah, I'm sure if I went back to that previous season, I'd be able to see trades that happened last year. But this year, I mean, you start off with a huge one. I mean, you see Josh Allen getting traded, which Richard ended up trading him. He acquired him and then traded him away later on, all in the offseason. So just so much happening. I think this trade, if I were to look at this one, I'm not going to analyze all of them, but you'll see later Richard traded Josh Allen away for I think 3 more first round picks. So I think at the end of the day, so Richard lost, he lost Cup and Brown and Tannehill and second and third. I'm not really looking at those too big here, but you know he acquired so many picks just from Josh Allen alone. It feels like um, that I think if you were to just put his 2 trades between this one and if I scroll back up to the top is the other one I'm referencing. Yep, right here. So Richard traded Josh Allen, received just 3 first rounders, Waddle and Ritter. Just if I'll show you a little bit here further. Rick was involved in a lot of trades over the offseason, to say the least, and it seemed like every single one of them was just absolutely massive. We'll take a look at his team. I think that's just because I think his team probably changed the most in the offseason between last season and this season. So we'll take a look at that. But I just kind of want to show, yeah, Josh Allen just moving around and just for all kinds of picks. So, like I said earlier, everyone kind of valuing these picks a little differently. Who knows what's right, what's wrong? Everyone's kind of, some teams it seems like are going for it now, other teams going for it, maybe for the future, just kind of playing the long game, which, we'll see. I guess that's kind of at the end of the day, we'll see. Oh gosh, am I just on the second trade here? Look at this. All right, so AJ acquiring Pittman, Chase, so arguably two of the best young receivers in the league, 2 first-round picks. I mean, man, that's wild. I mean this trade in general, I don't even know how it goes about, what it looked like to start. You'd have to talk to Rick and AJ. This is just a lot happening. This is like a Bilal for anyone that's been around. Our other fantasy league. This would be a Richard and Bilal type deal that happens right here. This is just changing team for team. A lot of people with new homes. So and that just feels like that sums up what this offseason was like as far as trades that happen. I mean, scrolling through, look at this. I mean, it's a lot of action, which I love. I love the fact that we were pretty much all off season. We were pretty active. It felt like, that's kind of one of the main things I liked out of this Dynasty league is that it was pretty constant as far as if you wanted to, stay involved in football year round, you pretty much could. A lot of action. There wasn't seem to be any real dead weeks for the most part. So that was pretty cool. I really enjoyed that. Pretty much everyone got in the mix too. I mean, I know, like I said, Rick was in a lot of them. Here's another one with Debo changing hands, and um, God, just so many. I don't even want to take the time. See, like mine look dinky compared to Rick's. Here we go. They just a Claypool for a second round. I mean, that's the extent of my trades. Just very simple, clean player for pick. Simple. I don't I can do that. Once it gets a little more than that, I tap out. I don't really know what's going on. There's just too many guys that I would probably be like, I would go crazy about. They'd start performing well on the other person's team, and I'd go nuts. So, a lot of my trades are just simple one for ones. Again, same here, right here, third round chart, bang, done. But then, but then right after that, you got Rick and Brandon, just massive trade. A lot of things happening. Who knows what's going to happen with people's teams. But that kind of what I like. The main point I wanted to get across was just a lot of action happening in the off season. That's just the trades. That's let alone free agent pickups and all the other stuff that people were doing this off season. So like I said, I showed you kind of who was in the playoffs last year, who wasn't. Um, I mean, the bottom four was me, Jordan, AJ, and Nick. And now, if you were to look at, I know projections don't mean anything, but they do mean. I mean, they mean something, but not anything solid, right? It's nothing to you don't actually score these points, but obviously you'd rather have higher projection, lower projection, of course. And if you were looking at those four teams I just named, myself at 151, Jordan 154, Nick 161, and AJ at 161 as well. I mean, those are four of the five highest, right? The only other person being Brandon at 167. So above the median, because that is important, because you are, like I said, you are competing with the rest of the league each and every week. So I think the median, I don't know if it shows. I mean, it shows on your phone, but I don't know if it shows on here what the median is. It's in the 140s. So technically, if you get above that, that was kind of the point I was trying to make previously, was just get about 500, maybe a little over to be safe, and get in the playoffs, and that's kind of all you really need to do. I personally am just kind of trying to do that, just stay above the median. Trying to take into account youth at the same time is important, of course. In Dynasty, it's such a different way to look um, at players as opposed to your standard redraft leagues. So just the value that different players have is super interesting. And obviously, I didn't have any picks last year. I've traded a lot of my picks already away for next year. But yeah, I'm kind of just gonna play it year by year, and hope things kind of figure themselves out, and I think they will. But yeah, I mean, we looked at Ryan and Kalen's team from the championship, and I think so much is going to change just from what their championship roster looked like, um, and so much is going to change just from what our rosters look like here week one. Oh yeah, one thing I said that I wanted to touch on was let's look at Rick's team. He was involved in, actually, I don't want to look at the matchup. Let's just look at team by team. Can I do that? Maybe matchup league. Can I just go to Rick? There we go. Sweet. Okay. So this is what Rick's team looked like. At the end of the day, he has two of the most prominent, if not the most prominent, young quarterbacks in the league, that'll have on his team for the next 10, 15, I don't know, however many years. You see Tom Brady still playing, he's what, 40 something. So Josh Allen and Herbert, he's going to have those guys for a long time. He's solidified those positions, which is awesome. Um, Now, I just do question. I mean, his team was. I mean, he's a playoff team last year. I mean, his team was pretty good. He had a lot of youth. I thought he was pretty solid as far as pretty balanced between the receivers, running backs, youth. He was pretty balanced. He's taken some risks for sure, just with some of those massive trades. I guess we'll see how they pan out. I talked about Dotson earlier, just young receiver. Rondale Moore's young. Renfro's relatively young. Brandon Ayuk's young. So, I mean, youth still there. Gabriel Davis, Marquise, they're not old. Melvin Gordon, obviously, might be on his final year or two. But, for the most part, he's young. So I don't want to give him too much crap. I mean, did better than me. So, I mean, obviously, here I am. I was the toilet bowl champ. And so take all my criticisms as you will. But um, I think some of the trades just seemed maybe a little unnecessary. If I were to just be honest, I don't know if maybe we don't know. I guess that's always the big thing is you don't really know how anything is going to pan out. I think it's just fun to get your guys that you really like, and I do think it's cool to have the two great quarterbacks just solid at your QB and super flex position. Just won't have just set it and forget it, and it'll have that basically for the next I don't know, decade. So that's pretty awesome. So I can't give him too much crap. And I still like a lot of his receivers. Hollywood's awesome. Gabe Davis is awesome. Brandon Ayuk. And I guess we'll see with Rondell Moore and Dotson. And, you know, definitely not bad. Depth, I think it gets a little light on Rick's team as far as, bench goes. Um, but that's what's kind of crazy is like a lot of these guys that you might not, that you don't hear about from last year, they come onto the scene. It seems like the shelf life of these players is so much thinner than what I would have initially expected, and you see guys just transferring in and out of the league just super fast. So that's what's cool about Dynasty, and I had a lot of fun this last year. We're going into year two. I hope things go better for myself. Obviously, they can only go up, right? They can only go up. Oh wait, God, how can I somehow criticize Ryan's team? I always like doing that. No, I'm just kidding. Ryan's team's good, so we'll see. He's got a lot of youth as well, and but I just think it's fun seeing the different people's strategies. I enjoyed all the activity that everyone seemed to make over the off season, and I'm just ready for football, man. I'm off for the next 10 days or so, and man, I'm just full on just football mode. So I can't wait. I hope you guys are the same way. If you guys like this, let me know. If you guys don't like it, let me know. I can probably do more of like kind of get into the weeds a little bit as far as team by team, that kind of stuff. I don't know. It seems maybe a little redundant. We'll see. If you guys like it, let me know because I have the time. That is for sure. I know. Not that many people are probably gonna listen to this. Maybe if I can get the people in the league to listen to it, that'd be cool. But I don't expect anything. I just enjoy making these types of things. So I'm hoping to make more. One other thing I guess I'll touch on. What did I want to talk about? Oh, I did pull up my other league just as a tab up here, but just thought it was kind of cool to you know 2 days. Got the new lineup, third receiver. That should be interesting to see how that plays this year. Got an extra receiver, no more kicker. Rosters are going to look a little different. One less bench spot. Things are going to get a little crazy. And the thing is, my team was not any better in this league than it was in the Dynasty League. So 2021 was a rough year all around. I'm hoping 2022 goes a little bit better. I guess we'll see. I'm looking forward to it. If you guys like this, let me know. I know it was just a lot of summarizing and that kind of stuff, but I'm looking forward to it. Let's make some more videos. Let's do this. But with that, peace.